Welcome to another edition of City Connector right here on CitiTV, brought to you by the City of Douglasville. I am Lee Brogden Culberson of ProfessionalMojo.com, and you know that it is always my distinct privilege to share some of all the great stuff that's going on right here in our community where we live, work, and play. We have a full show ready for you to start, so you hang on, don't change the channel, and we will be right back. Welcome back. Now, we've got a great first guest for you. It is Kimberly Bridges with the Douglasville Convention and Visitors Bureau. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And we have a lot of cool stuff going on around Douglasville. And one of the most interesting things, I think, is the Family Reunion Workshop. So tell us when that is and kind of what it entails. And then I've got some interesting statistics to share with you.
Great. Yes, it's coming up Saturday, March 15th, so it's really only couple weeks away. We still are taking signups for it, okay. And we will actually have a professional person there who does this for a living. They help plan and train people, and they will be giving us some wonderful tips in planning. We will also talk about services that we as a Convention and Visitors Bureau offer to guests who come in and stay in the local area and eat in the local area, and we'll offer maybe like welcome bags or something for them. And then we'll also have vendors who will have tables set up around the area so that they can get information for them as they begin to plan for their visit.
Now see, I think this is such a great idea because as I was doing some research, they said that the average group of people for a reunion is between 50 and 150 people. That takes a lot of planning. That's not something where you just send out your little online evite and say, hey, show up at 1 p.m. on Saturday and we're going to have plenty of hot dogs for you.
That's correct. Family reunion planning has almost become like planning a wedding or some other large event, meeting event, because it does, many start a year to 2 years in advance now. And that's why we do this in the spring, because a lot of the planners will be planning for this year, but they will also be planning for the 2015 family reunion year. And so we want to help them get a head start on it.
And I love also, they were talking about the reasons why someone chose a location for a family reunion. And as I looked at this, I thought, you know what? It sounds just like our city. So it said, number one was cultural activities and tours. We have plenty of things to do.
Yes, we do.
All right. It had to do with recreational activities and catering, places to eat.
Yes, we have all of that. I mean, not only downtown Douglasville, but in the whole area, and we have wonderful recreation facilities, things to do. There's just, we could go on and on about the list of things in the area. For the family can come and they can split up. They could do things together, you know, and have a variety of activities planned.
Right. So what are some of the things, again, that they're going to be covering at the Family Reunion Workshop? If someone wanted to sign up, what can they expect to learn?
Well, they will actually see a presentation, and that will be presented to them on how to plan a family reunion. It's going to be the nuts and bolts of it, the tactical information that they'll want to have. They'll get a planning sheet, a planner that they can actually go step by step if they don't have experience with it. And then again, they will also have vendors, hoteliers, restaurants, different types of vendors that may be involved in planning a family reunion that they'll be able to get information from. And all those will be local people as well, local from the Douglasville area, helping them with that. And
tell us again how they can sign up, because you are still taking registrations, you said.
We are, and they can call our Welcome Center at 770-947-5920, or they can go to visitdouglasville.com, our website, and contact us through that way. We do have a contact link on there, and that's probably the easiest way because they'll also see information about the event.
Well, I tell you, people just should not, as my grandma would say, fly by the seat of their pants when it comes to bringing your relatives in. Have, you know, running around with 50 people is bad enough. 50 relatives, hey, nobody wants to be on their bad side, right?
That's true, that's true. And it could be, like you said, up to 150 and sometimes even more.
And you've seen larger groups, I bet, haven't you?
I've seen a family reunion with 300 plus members.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know that I even have
Yes.
300 people in my family.
I think that's-
my mother's over there. I'm looking. Do we have 300 people? I don't think we do.
I think that's all the cousins.
I think so too. Many branches out, right?
Yes.
That is just amazing.
Yes.
And I have to say one more thing too. I mean, when you're talking about the vendors, people do photo shoots, don't they? They get T-shirts made. It's a big deal.
They do. Food, T-shirts, all of that stuff.
All right, lots of fun. Well, I know that that's going to be packed, and what a wonderful thing for you guys to be offering. Great resource. And speaking of resources, if we wanted to know everything that's going on in the community, you've got some pretty cool online ways of doing that. So tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We have a resource, and it's easy. It's DouglasvilleCalendar.com. That's all you have to remember, and on there you will see, and it's pretty too, it's not just a listing, but it has things going on in Douglasville and in the local area. So you could click on that event to learn more about it, and the other thing you can do is you can add your own event. So if you have something going on, you can also add your event to that, and we would love for you to add your event so that everyone can see what we have going on in Douglasville and Douglas County.
Right, so it really is just about everything that's happening in the area, the region, the county, the city. So the folks that we have here on the interactive community calendar, they could hop out to the online and add their event out there as well.
They certainly could. We would love for them to.
Okay, and also, because I'm a technology nut, you've also got another really cool way of folks finding out what's going on and finding their way around in the city, the county.
We do, and as we say, if you're looking for something to do, we have an app for that.
I like that.
We do have an app, and you can find it, and it's Visit Douglasville. And on that, it does give local events for the year. It also gives restaurants, hotel information, and local area information, maps, and even a link to our Visit Douglasville site, a link to our city site. So there's just a wealth of information there that you can get right from your mobile device.
And is it for all mobile devices? So do we know Android and iPhone?
Yes, we do. It does operate on the Android platform.
Good.
And the iPhone platform, and for your iPad. So most everyone can get it. Now, it's probably not for all of them, but yes, you can get it on those formats.
Yeah, and I have to tell our listeners and our watchers as well, I've had the opportunity to check out that app, and it is really cool because for those who are used to like looking for somewhere to eat or somewhere to stay, and they're last minute, I tend to do a little bit of spontaneous traveling. It's really great to be able to go there, pull the application up. We have visitors come in and say, hey, you're here, and right over there is somewhere to eat, and you can see all of that, just real handy.
You can, and on that as well, there are links to each of those places, so very convenient.
All right, well, great. Well, as we kind of wind down, we've talked about the family reunion, we've talked about the online calendar. What else would you like to leave with our listeners and our watchers about all the great things happening here?
Well, if you haven't visited the Welcome Center, we would love for you to come by and see us downtown on Broad Street in historic downtown. We have a very friendly staff. They're ready to greet you, and you can find out not only information about Douglasville, but we are also considered a regional visitor information center by the state of Georgia. So we also offer resources throughout the state that they can get there, a Georgia Visitor's Guide. If you're in Douglasville but you want to go visit somewhere else, of course we would love for you to stay here all the time, but if you do want to go visit another city, we probably have the resource for that, or a brochure or something that we could help you with in finding that.
And where is that located?
That is 6694 East Broad Street, downtown. We are between a couple of restaurants. We are right on the plaza.
Okay, wonderful. And I love that plaza. And that's something else for folks. If they haven't been down there when the weather is beautiful, it is just wonderful. And you guys always have a lot of great activities going on down there.
We do. And it's getting that time of year where they need to get out and come visit us.
I know it. I'm so excited. All right. So if they have final questions, they want to follow up with you about any of it, give us some contact information.
Okay. Visit Douglasville.com is the best place to go. If you don't use the web and you want to call, of course you can call our main number at 770-947-5920, and our Welcome Center staff would be glad to help you.
Great, so you really use phones there and talk to people.
We actually
phones.
do. Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
We have staff that answer phones.
All right, that's great. That's wonderful. All right, Kimberly Bridges, and thanks so much for being on the show, and thanks so
You're
much for
welcome.
sharing with everyone. There's some wonderful things going on out here, so
You're
I hope
welcome.
they all partake of it and come and visit you real soon.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
We will be right back. Stay tuned for the calendar, and you'll find out more about what's happening right here in your area.
Welcome to the Interactive Community Calendar. Kelly Hunter and Sarah Ray. We have guests with lots of activities happening, don't we? Here
Yes.
in Douglasville, Douglas County. Who do we
Yes.
have up first?
One of our guests that we have today is Vanessa, and she's here to talk about a little boogie woogie that they're going to do this month. So, and she's with the Junior League. So, what you got going on, girl?
Yes, I am with the Junior League of Douglas County, and our Botanical Boogie is taking place on March the 15th. We have a 1 mile run for the kids. Starts at 11:30, and then the 5K starts at 12. Following that, we have our Boogie Down at the Playground. This year marks our 25th year of service as a league. We are super excited about that and definitely want to get back to the community, so it will be fun for the family, fun for the kids.
And I hear the word free food, and a
Free
different.
food. The Tooth Fairy is making an appearance
Woo.
and giving out books. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Very
Great.
cool.
Now, so if we want more information, there is the registration for the runs, that type thing. Where can we send people?
Absolutely. So you can go to our website. It's jldouglascounty.org. Registration goes up on March the 1st, so you have a few more days to get it in. Yeah, you can go there.
Great. And what's the cost to, did you already say this? The
No.
cost to participate in the race?
Right now, it's $20 for adults and $15 for kids, and when it goes up on March the 1st, it will go up $5 for each.
And you told me that it includes something super cool and fun.
Oh, yeah.
The shirt?
The shirt, yes.
Was that a quick trick question? I'm sorry.
I told you no pop
I know, I'm sorry.
So this is last year's shirt, and this year it will be teal. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see it.
Great. And they're dry fit, they're nice shirts.
Yes,
And
they're tech shirts. They're really, really nice. Yes.
very cool. Great. Well, thanks for giving us the information.
Thank you
And
so
thank you for
much.
what the Junior League does in our
Absolutely.
county and our city.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. Up next, we have
Kasha Lipford,
Kasha. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, my brain is.
you've had a little bit
It's a
going on.
little
It's
bit, a
fine.
little bit.
Hey, Kasha, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
All righty. You're from the front porch or beyond the front porch?
Beyond the front porch, yes. Thank you.
Tell us what you've got going on.
Okay, so as you know, on the second Saturday of every month, we take a field trip to different places of educational value throughout Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. So March 8th, we're going to go to the Center for Puppetry Arts.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun one.
It is going to be a fun one. We're going to see a performance on Weather Rocks, which is really appropriate given, what we've been going
So
through
we've had
with the
like 10
weather.
different kinds of weather in a week, right?
Right. So I said, what better way to show the children all this involved with weather and weather forecasting than with puppets. So we will see a performance on Weather Rocks. We will also have a puppet building workshop as well as tour the puppet museum.
Very cool.
Yes.
And if people want to participate, how do they get in touch with you? What's the cost?
Okay, well, the cost is no cost for children that's on free and reduced lunch. That's one of the biggest things that we like to stress about our organization is we want to make sure that no one is excluded for these type of activities. So there's no charge for children that's on free and reduced lunch, $25 for everybody else. That includes the activity, transportation, as well as lunch. They can go to our website to register, which is www.beyondthefrontporch.org. So beyondthefrontporch.org, or they can contact me by telephone at 404-408-6448. And that's Cassia Lipford at Beyond the Front Porch.
All right.
Very cool. You
sounds like
do
fun
a lot on the
time.
front porch and beyond. I love the name.
Yes. So thank you for having us here and giving us the opportunity to share this information.
Yeah, and you have events every month, pretty
Yes,
much. So
yes.
if people can't make it this month, they can try again another time.
Exactly. In fact, March the 12th, after our field trip to the Center for Puppetry Arts, registration will open for our April trip
Perfect.
to the Tennessee Aquarium.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to
Another-
come back next month and tell us all about that
I
one.
definitely will be here. Thank
right.
you again.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, and all kinds of activities and organizations that reach our community. Up next, we have Brittany. Step on around here with us.
Brittany's with CASA.
Casa, okay.
Hi, y'all
Hey,
doing?
great.
Hi.
Tell us what you got going on.
Okay, well, CASA is a local organization. The national organization is Children's Voice CASA, and we have court-appointed special advocates who help advocate for abused and neglected children in Douglas County. So we have events going on. The Denim and Diamonds Ball is March 15th at 7 o'clock at Fox Hall. Fox Hall. Fox Hall Resort and Hunting Club. We are also always looking for volunteers. So we're having a new orientation March 4th, and you can find out all of our information on our website, douglascountycasa.org.
Very cool. It's an awesome organization.
It really is, and it's a great way to help out kids who are in foster care to no fault of their own, so it's a great way to give back.
Yeah, and the Denim and Diamonds Ball is quite a bash, too.
Yeah, it is.
Very fun.
Well, it's great to have you reaching out and helping those children here in our local community.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
And you know, that brings up a good topic there, Sarah, for people who would want to reach out and volunteer their time and their services in the community. There are organizations that need that.
Yes,
All
and we
right.
have the resources.
There
If
you
you
go.
can't get it from our show, contact the city and we can get that information for you.
That's right.
Or the chamber.
And
We've
if-
got it too.
That's right. And if you have an event you would like to promote locally, how can they do that here each month,
Yeah,
Sarah?
just come out to Arbor Place Mall on the last Tuesday of the month around 11:30 and we'll get you on the air.
There you go.
It's that easy.
That easy. We'll be back with more City Connector.
Welcome back to City Connector. Now, it's that time of year where people maybe started out with some health and fitness resolutions and they might be falling by the wayside. Joining me now is Skip Johnson with Gold's Gym. Welcome, Skip.
Glad to be here. Thank you so much, Lee.
And I do want to talk a little bit about that. Now, I saw an interesting statistic that said only about 8% of the people who start out with really good intentions at the beginning of the year actually achieve their resolution, especially when it comes to health and fitness. Does that surprise you?
Well, I have to tell you that 8% does surprise me. I know it's difficult to stay on an exercise program, but 8%, that's a very small number of folks sticking with the program. It's difficult sometimes to stay with an exercise program when you start as a New Year's resolution, but it can be done.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about that. For people who might be watching going, oh, I'm so close to the fitness cliff. I may keep going, I may not. What can they do?
Well, and the fitness cliff, as you know, is the day that Gold's Gym has determined most folks tend to fall off their exercise program. We want to keep you from falling off that cliff. One of the things that you can do is to have someone to work out with you.
Oh.
Having a partner keeps you accountable, and it keeps you in the gym, makes it a little more fun. So that's a great way to keep yourself on track. Another way is to make sure that you have a set time each day.
So you schedule it in. It's always it's
Schedule
going
it
to
in.
pop up. It's going to remind me it's time to go and walk on the treadmill and do what I'm going to do.
Brush your teeth each day, you do this and that each day, you go to the gym each day. And as you get in that habit, a little bit at a time, it starts sinking in, and that tendency to want to not go to the gym kind of disappears.
Right. I love that. Great, great ideas.
Right.
Now, let's talk about this because part of a healthy lifestyle, of course, is exercise and fitness. But the other part of that really is nutrition, too.
The nutrition monster is what we call it. You know, it's so interesting. It's a paradox because a lot of times as Americans, we see the magazines that tell us how we ought to look. You walk
Right.
in the stores and everyone's looking just so fit, and you see the billboards and you think, oh my gosh, why don't I look like that? But the other billboard says, oh, look at this ice cream you ought to have and this fried food and the sugar. So it's a real challenge to go back and forth between what we need to do and what we want to do a lot of times. So the best way to do it is a little bit of change each day, working towards that lifestyle change as opposed to trying to do it all at one time and flipping the switch.
Right. And that brings me to my next question, because that is wonderful, which is if someone's watching or listening and they're like, you know what, I kind of do want to make a change, because as you know, right now in the U.S., a lot of people are focusing on health and wellness and just being, fitter and having a better quality of life, and fitness helps you do that. If they want to take that step, whether it's joining a fitness facility or going out to one of the city parks and walking or whatever it might be, what is a good first step? I mean, are there some things that people should do first before they get started?
First thing I would suggest is talk with your doctor. If you have any suggestion that maybe I should check this out, or I have had this condition, go ahead and talk with your physician first before you get started. But once you get through that hurdle, go ahead and just take a few little steps. Take a walk in the park, do a little bike riding, anything to get you active and get you off that couch. The more advanced you get, of course, the better the workout's going to get, but it does not have to be difficult. A lot of times people think, oh, this has got to be painful. The no pain, no gain days are over. It's good news, yes.
That's the best news I've had all day, as a
Right.
matter of fact, the no
Right,
pain, no
right.
gain. But it makes sense, too, because I think when people go and they overdo it and they don't know what they're doing, maybe they haven't talked to their doctor or to a fitness expert, then what happens, they come back, they feel terrible, they hurt all over, and they're like, I can't do this again, right?
Right. My daughter Betsy's a personal trainer, and we talk about this a lot. It's this, people want to do well with their program, and it's so challenging because it is a little bit difficult at first, and you're a little sore, but then when you stick with your program, and it's like she says also, the people just feel great. They see these great results. They hear people say, wow, you look so good. So it's that short-term, a little bit of a challenge to get to that long-term fun result.
I like that. Now, I have a sensitive question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know it. Now, see, I didn't tell you before I was going to ask it. Now you're nervous. I know you are.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay, all right, you should be. So if you have someone in your family that you feel like it would benefit them, and I'm not necessarily talking about weight, I'm just talking about being healthier, right? Is it a smart thing to mention it to them? How would you encourage someone to go and maybe take the first step to a healthier lifestyle?
Well, that's a great question. And I would say this, don't.
No, what? That's not the answer I was hoping for. I'm just letting you know.
You want to set the example because it's almost like a child. The more you say you need to do this, you ought to do this, you have to do this, the more they say, oh, that's not what I really want to do. So if you can set the example and they start seeing the way you feel and they start seeing the habits that you've developed, all of a sudden it becomes, hey, I think I might try that sometime. She's having some good results. She's feeling better. I got to tell you, this is so much about attitude.
Yeah.
Just like everything in our life, it's that desire to want to do it and then a little bit at a time. But we're so often held back by our fears or how we failed in the past or what could happen or what if we don't succeed.
It's true.
So
True.
if we set the example for someone else and they kind of work through their own fears a little bit, when it's the right time for them, they'll get started.
All right, well, good. Well, my husband is safe then, and I'll no, I've said the truth, and I'll say Skip told me don't bug you about this anymore. I just need to go and do my thing.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if folks wanted more information about maybe fitness topics or nutrition, what can they do?
Well, I tell you what, you can go to the Gold's Gym West Georgia website, and you can download a 7-day pass. Come in and have some fun at the gym. Relax. Get yourself kind of used to being around a fitness facility. Walk on the treadmill a little bit. Make it fun. Again, this is a lifestyle change, not a sprint.
Right. Wonderful. All right, Skip Johnson, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us about fitness and health and how we can stick to those New Year's resolutions. I appreciate it.
It's been great fun. Thank you so much, Lee.
All right, take care.
All right.
Okay, you guys stay tuned. Let me tell you what's next. It is The Singing Electrician, and you will not want to miss this. Hang on.
One of my major influences growing up was James Taylor. This is a little medley I enjoy doing. I really enjoy James Taylor. There is a young cowboy who lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companion. He works in the saddle, he sleeps in the canyon, waiting for summer, his pastures to change. As the moon rises rises, he sits by his fire, thinking about women and glasses of beer, closing his eyes as the doggies retire, sings out a song which is soft, but it's clear, as if maybe someone I could hear. Good night, you moonlight lady, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Let me go down in my dreams. Rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moon shining? Ain't you just like a friend of mine? Hit me from behind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Just feel the moon shining. Ain't he just like a friend of mine? Hit me from behind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina. In my mind. Gone to Carolina. My mind. Say nice things about me while I'm going southbound. Carry on without me. Tell her I'm going. Gone to Carolina in my mind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Thank you.
Welcome back. One of my favorite parts of hosting City Connector is getting to give you some really wonderful information and some great news. And this is one of those times that there's super good, feel-good story, and we're so glad to be able to bring it to you. Joining me now is Jeff Davis, and you are with Truth in Nature.
That's correct.
And you're going to find out more about that in a second. And Jim McMeechan, and you also volunteer and work with Truth in Nature.
I do. We've been with them for a couple years now, and it's a great program.
All right, well first, let's start there. Before we reveal what kind of cool stuff has happened, tell us a little bit about the ministry, what you do, who you serve, and who it impacts.
Yeah, absolutely. We work with boys that do not have fathers in their life, and we're an outdoor ministry, so we do things in the outdoors that typically a father-son would do, you know, camping, fishing, hunting, hiking, you know, that kind of thing. And we take that opportunity to mentor and to share Christ with them. So.
All right, so how long you been doing this?
Yeah, we started in 2009, so we're starting our 6th year now.
Okay, so 6 years into this. Now, recently something really wonderful, a big blessing came your guys' way. Tell us about that.
Sure, it was, we were entered into the Toyota 100 Cars for Good contest. And basically what that is Toyota has 2,500 organizations nationwide. They pare it down to a handful of them, and then you get to compete against the other organizations to win a car. Well, long story short, we won a Toyota Highlander. So it was presented to us at Auto Nation Toyota just a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so that is very exciting. But it wasn't just the car, right? You got other goodies.
No, it was actually a lot of things. Jeff was kind of being a little bit
I want to
descriptive
hear it all.
about it.
Jim will tell me.
Jeff had to compete with almost 500 other nonprofits here out of Georgia about what the program does and about voting. And so he had to get a lot of people on Facebook to vote for him, and he won out of that. But then, as he said, here in Lithia Springs, they went a step further, and they went and bought a lot of outdoor equipment and put it in there as well. And they also partnered with a company here locally in Douglasville.
Gable Sporting Goods.
Wow.
Donated a $650 gift card for the purchase of future equipment. So
that's great.
Yeah. Amazing. It allows them to be able to use the dollars that they raise towards the kids and sponsoring them for these events. You know, a lot of the kids that they have here come from Douglasville. They come from Paulding. They come from Cobb. They come from clear across 285 as well. But their parents can't always get them here. You know, they can't afford the transportation. So a lot of times Jeff has to load up with his wife and go pick up kids and travel. And so that's an all-day affair. But now he's got a vehicle that can carry 7 people. He's got some dollars to be able to use towards a program that he didn't have to take out of his budget. So this is a huge step for Jeff.
Yeah, it really is. It's been a blessing. So, and I guess he did do a little bit more of the explaining.
Well, that's okay. That's why Jim's along, right? That's good.
That's it.
Now, how did you get involved with this ministry?
You know, I met Jeff a number of years ago, and I found out through a company that I was working for that what Jeff was doing, the great impact it was having in our communities. And I've always had a passion for kids. I was in youth ministry for a long time, and I really saw the value. A lot of times you get nonprofits that tell you what they're doing, and you're worried that they really can't get off the ground. Jeff, there was no doubt in my mind. Jeff had the passion. He stopped his career, felt the lead, and he jumped in full force, and he was putting his own dollars behind it. And so I knew it was going somewhere. I partnered with him. We worked with the board, and on that trip, we got to see the impact of those kids. So my wife and I continue to support him. The good news is that I think we get more out of supporting him than maybe what we provide for. But
that's the way it always is, isn't it? With a good program, you walk away just really feeling inspired and filled up.
You know, the other thing he's got coming up, I want him to tell you about is he's got a clay shoot coming up at Fox Hall here. And Jeff, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's on Saturday, May the 17th, and it's a clay shoot tournament that's going to be last year we had a little over 100 shooters, so this year we expect to sell it out. 100% of the proceeds go right back into our programs. So we're looking for sponsors, for squads, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I want you to say that again, because that is a pretty amazing statistic for just about any organization. So I'm going to rewind for a second.
Okay.
Don't touch your TV. I'm going to do it for you. Tell us again what you just said.
100% of our proceeds go back into our programs. Everything we raise that day is just going to go right back into helping us provide this transportation, helping us just have these programs to support these young men and their walk through their middle and high school years.
I love that. Now, how can someone get involved in that clay shoot?
They can go to our website, truthandnature.org, and there's a link right there for clay shoot. You can register, do everything you need to do right there online. There's a link for you to sign up and do everything you need to do right there.
And they need to do that soon because it could potentially sell out.
Yeah, registration's officially going to open March the 1st, and but yeah, we're looking for it to sell out. So do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Fox Hall is a great sponsor there. They provide the opportunity for us to do it. But Jeff is really limited. His number of kids that he serves every year continues to grow, but they're hitting a bumper here, and part of that is because of a couple things. One, the funding. So if people want to volunteer, there's an opportunity to come out and volunteer with him. The second is the funding, that they can come out and sponsor him on a monthly basis or per program. But there's also another piece, Jeff, that you guys really need, and tell us a little bit about the facility.
Yeah, that's correct. We're currently just having the need for a facility, a central type facility where we can, not have to rely on everybody, me going out and looking for different pieces of property or different things to hold our activities. Anywhere in the North Douglas, South Paulding or Paulding County area, anywhere right in there, because this is where our core group comes from. So, if anybody out there knows of a place that we could talk to and be able to use as type of a resource type facility, I need, a little bit of land because we're an outdoor ministry, so I need to be able to get rough and dirty out there too. But yeah, that's one of our big needs.
So they could contact you if someone had some ideas or wanted to make a very generous donation.
Absolutely.
And Lee, in our school system, especially in Douglas, we got a lot of kids that are coming from single-parent families, so the need is great here. The opportunity is great, so there is no time like the present to get involved and make a difference in the community and in a program that is really making a huge impact.
And I'm real curious, too, speaking of that, what led you to do this? Because I have to say, in some ways, it's a little bit unusual type of ministry. I hadn't heard of something like yours before. So talk to me about how you got started.
Right, yeah. Me and my wife both come from that background. I experienced a divorce with my parents, and her father passed away when she was 12. So we know exactly what these young men are going through without having a dad around. And so that was kind of our driving factor in doing something like this when we felt led to do more in the community. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
And why outdoor stuff? I mean, it makes sense.
Well,
I mean, it's boys.
Well, yeah,
but,
it's boys, and that's stuff fathers and sons do. But I'm an avid outdoorsman, and she grew up in Pennsylvania doing trapping and hunting with her dad. She's a kind of a tomboy type girl.
Lucky you.
Know? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So,
and they do have girls in the program too, and so sometimes they get to experience that and they enjoy that. You know, Lee, you and I've talked about this before with today's society, with having to take care of our parents and not having the time to spend with our kids. A lot of times there may be a dad just not physically present, or sometimes not emotionally present and not connected.
Good point.
And so Jeff is able to bring those in and give some great discipleship there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We watch them, grow up. I've had kids in there since day one, and these young men are now becoming our leaders in our program and taking the new kids under their wing, and so it's just really cool to see all that work.
So tell me a little bit about and you talked about a little bit, Jim, but some of the real needs you have. We talked about the land. If someone wanted to make physical or financial donations, I'm sure they could do that.
Right.
If they wanted to be like Jim and his wife, though, and volunteer and be a part of the program, is there an opportunity for that as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially for like men that are into the outdoors, men that want to come out and just be kind of a mentor to walk alongside a young man, and just, you don't have to know everything there is to know about the outdoors, but if you just to be present and there with them, like sitting on the bank fishing or something with them, and their opportunity to volunteer, you can find that on our website too. It's right under on truthandnature.org, right under the volunteer link. It's got all of our paperwork and everything you need.
Lee, this is a great excuse for a lot of guys who really want that time to go fishing. They really enjoy fishing,
yeah.
But God, they've got a lot of things going on at work and family. This is a great opportunity for them to say, you know what, I want to fish, but I want to invest into somebody. They do a bass fishing program every year. They do a lot of hiking and camping, and so you know what, this is kind of self-serving in a way that we get to be a part of that, but share our experiences with these kids. And I know that some of your folks have actually into Boy Scouts now and have moved up and got some great awards through that as well.
Yeah, actually not so much the Boy Scouts, but I've got a young man that's in the Marine ROTC at his high school. And when he first came into our programs, he was one of the shy ones that would just look at the ground and never look up and always yes, no answers. But now he's developed into a leader, and we see him grow, and he's getting awards in his Marine ROTC. It's awesome.
That is amazing, and especially be able to watch their progression from when they first came in. And I don't think you can underestimate the value of having a father figure, or at least a mentor, a male mentor in your life like that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty cool. The last thing I will say is that if there's a way that somebody can donate and they just don't know how, they don't know if a gift in kind might work, the best thing to do is just to get on the website, truthandnature.org, call Jeff and say, hey, I'd like to meet with you, let's have lunch and figure out what I can do to help your program. It may not be dollars, it may be a gift in kind, or it may not be a facility, but it might be, hey, you can have it once a month, and here, there's this kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I would say just reach out and find out how you can get involved.
Right, any small step, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any small step, you'd be happy. All right, tell us again, one more time, the URL for the website.
Yes, it's truthandnature.org.
All right, wonderful. And a phone number just in case.
Phone number is 404-374-4228, and we're on Facebook, so we've got a Facebook page too.
Great, and then go out there and follow some progress and see what you guys are up to.
You can see all the pictures and everything that's going on.
Wonderful. All right, again, Jeff Davis, Jim McMeechan, talking about Truth and Nature. Guys, thank you so much. Congratulations on all the booty.
Much.
That's
thank
great.
You
I know
much.
you guys have put it to good use.
Yep, thank you.
All right, take care.
All right.
Thanks again.
We will be right back, so you stay tuned for the calendar. Don't go anywhere.
Sarah Ray with the Douglas County Chamber, and we're here at the City Connector Interactive Community Calendar. We've got lots of great events coming up today and different things for you to be involved in our community. First up, we have a chorus of the Douglas County High School Thespian Society, and we have Marissa and her posse, I guess, here, and she's going to tell us about an event that we have coming up. So, Marissa, what do you guys have going on?
We are going to be performing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And our show dates are March 27th through the 29th at our school in the theater at 7 o'clock. Tickets are $10. for adults and $5, I believe, $7, sorry, for students. And then we have a 2 o'clock matinee on the 30th.
Great. And just like a brief synopsis about the performance, like what kind of can people expect?
Well, it's pretty much a day in the life of Charlie Brown and the gang. I'm playing Snoopy, and we have some cast members behind me. And we just go through like a comic strip, and it's about Charlie, and he wants to know why everybody thinks he's a good man.
Very cool. And just to give everybody a preview, can you guys give your best dramatic pose for the audience? That's it? That's all you got? No diva poses? Which character are you?
I'm costume design.
Oh, fantastic. That's a great part. It's kind of my favorite. I would be in the background too. Do we have any other cast members? Charlie. Charlie, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Great. And if people want to get tickets, where can they go? Do they come to the school? Do they go on a website?
Yeah, you can just come up to the school and get tickets. And we are selling tickets. You can get them at show nights, but you can also come to the school and get them ahead of time. So it just depends what you want to do.
Great. Well, thanks for coming out and visiting with us. And if you have any more questions, they can contact the school. And we'll be back with more City Connector after this.
Welcome back to City Connector. Now, joining me, two probably very familiar faces to you, Kelly Hunter, City of Douglasville. Kelly.
Hello.
And TJ Jacklinski.
You got it. You got it.
Yay!
Perfect. Nailed it.
From Douglas County. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, this is kind of an exciting little segment because we have a celebrity who has come back from Sochi, and you guys are doing something very special for her. So why don't you tell us about that?
Well, we've joined together as a city and county to put together a welcome, honoring celebration for Alana Myers, and it's happening tonight at the mall. So we know this will be airing kind of post the event, but we wanted to kind of give the viewers an idea of what it takes to put on an event like this.
Yeah, speaking from the county side of it, Alana's from Douglasville, Douglas County, so we kind of wanted to join together, pool our resources, and get the word out to as many people as possible so that they would know this was going on.
So what kind of things will be happening or will have happened at this this event for Elena?
Well, we've got 3 main things that are happening. From 6 to 6:45, we're doing kind of a media pool so that the media can come in and have a chance to talk to her here at the mall. Then there will be a ceremony that starts around 7. And then she will do autographs and pictures and that type of thing when the ceremony's over.
Well, wonderful. Well, for those who maybe just, I don't know, were out of the country somewhere and didn't know, I can't imagine that. Elena Myers, of course, won the silver medal in bobsled and only lost by 1/10 of a second.
Right.
Oh my.
Just amazing. I mean, she just did a great job. And how wonderful that you guys are doing this for her as a congratulations, welcome back. Because it's garnered, as you know, national and international attention.
Right.
She has, and she's been on a very fast-paced schedule since she's gotten back into town over the weekend, and so we're really gracious, or it's gracious on her part as well, to make herself available to the public, and so we're expecting a large crowd here at Arbor Place Mall.
And I suspect that there will be photos. So even since this is airing after the fact, people can probably go online in places and see what happened, right?
Sure. Right.
Where would they go?
We will air our portion of the ceremony on DCTV23.com. We'll, of course, play it on our channel as well. So we'll be editing that footage and putting it together as quickly as we can so they can see the ceremony, and I know it'll be available with the city as well.
That's right. That's another area where we're partnering. We got 2 different events going on. It'd be kind of crazy for us to both try and shuffle all of our equipment and our staff and resources to cover both. So DC23 is covering the media event. CitiTV will be covering the actual ceremonies, and then we'll swap those footages out and produce them unique to our own format.
City-county partnership.
I love it when a plan
Hard at
comes
work.
together. I feel the love. I feel the love right here. All right, well, wonderful. And thank you so much for doing that for her. And I think it's wonderful that she's going to be honored in that way. And I know that we're all really proud to have her be a part of our communities.
We're excited about it.
All right, TJ, Kelly, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's more great music right after this. welcome back to City Connector. We have had a wonderful show for you today, and I hope that you'll tune in every month as we find out everything that's going on in the area from the city. Man, family reunion workshops, great talent, you name it, it's right here, and we hope to see you next month. Now, you've been enjoying some wonderful music from Richard Benson, also known as the Singing Electrician, and he has a special guest with him today, right?
That is correct. This is my young friend, Mackie Gray from Atlanta, and he's working on his debut album.
That's pretty exciting. And how old are you, Mackie?
11 years old.
11 years old. All right, and how long have you been doing this?
I think 6 years, maybe, since I was 5.
Since you were 5. So almost all of your life you've been doing this?
Yes, or at least all my life that I remember.
All right, good.
Clearly.
So tell me a little bit about, if people want to find out more about you, because I know they're going to be impressed and wowed by it, how can they find out information about you?
Well, if you were to find out online, it were to be on Facebook on Mackie Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not McCartney Gray, that's just my social page. But that's about it.
All right, that's good though. So Facebook, great.
Yeah.
And what are you going to sing for us today?
When I'm 64 by the Beatles and I Want by One Direction, but it's my version.
Well,
so
let me just say right now, that's pretty broad, from the Beatles to One Direction.
Yeah.
I dig it. That's great. All right, well, we look forward to that. And for everyone else, remember, join us again on the next City Connector. Up to you. All right.
When I get older, losing my hair many years from now, please still be sending me a Valentine, birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I've been out till 2:45, would you lock the door? We still need me, we still feed me when I'm 64. Say the word, I could stay with you. I could be handy mending a fuse when your lights have gone. You can knit this one to light the fireside. Sunday mornings go for a ride, doing the garden, digging the weeds. Who could ask for more? We still need me, we still feed me when I'm 64. Every summer we could rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight if it's not too dear. We shall swim and save. Grandchildren on your knee, Vera, Chuck, and Nate. Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of view. Indicate precisely what you mean to say. You're sincerely wasting away. Give me your answer, fill in a form. Mine forevermore. We still need me, we still feed me when I'm 64. Ooh. Give you this, give you that, blow a kiss, take